Welcome to Recognizing, Altering, and Avoiding Default Settings. Today you'll learn to identify and change an entire document's default font and paragraph formatting. If Word's default formatting doesn't work for you, after this lesson you can make changes as you go and easily permanently change Word's default formatting for new documents. With this information, you'll avoid the headaches that come with layering new formatting on top of the default. We'll cover features which are available for Microsoft Word for Windows or Mac. Welcome to Recognizing, Altering, and Avoiding Default Settings in Microsoft Word. Today we'll cover default fonts, setting new default fonts, default paragraph and line spacing, setting new default paragraph and line spacing, and making Word work for you. I'm Ivy Gray from WordRake, and I'm here with Baron Henley from Affinity Consulting. Let's get this started, Baron.
Hello, this segment is entitled Recognizing, Altering, and Avoiding Default Settings in Microsoft Word. So this really answers a question that I've been asked hundreds and hundreds of times previously. And basically, this is the typical explanation of the problem when I emailed these documents. It goes like this. So I'm just doing basic editing to this document. I'm adding text and I'm deleting text. Nothing fancy. But the formatting keeps changing on me and I'm not doing it. Okay? That's caused by a particular thing. It's not that the document is possessed or Word is possessed. There's a thing that causes that. Okay? And here's another issue that's related. I've got, like in this document, I've got Arial 12-point justified alignment. And so I want to insert a footnote. So I click here and I say, references, insert footnote. And my footnote is in a completely different font than the rest of the document. And what I'm trying to show you here is it's not even the same paragraph alignment. So if you've been using Word long enough, there's no question you've experienced this. You've experienced the random format shifts that you're not doing and things like this. When the whole document is set up with Arial 12-point justified paragraph alignment, I inserted a footnote and it's a completely different thing. Like, what on earth causes this? Okay, so I'm about to demystify this for you. The backstory is when a Word document is created, it is given default formatting. So a font, point size, paragraph formatting, it's buried in the document like DNA. And so the first question is, how old are the documents that you use on a daily basis? Many legal users don't have any idea where the documents came from they use. Like, they were here when I started working here 15 years ago and I'm still using them. I receive documents all the time that are decades, 20 plus years old. Every document at some point had to come from a blank page. When was the last time you created a complex document from a blank page? Probably, maybe never. Like, you always find some other document, right? Well, that document, every document, right, had to come from a blank document at some point. Someone started with a blank. So whoever started with a blank years and years and years ago, their computers, their version of Word's default settings got buried in that document. So the first thing about default settings are that they will not leave you alone. If default settings just stayed behind the curtain, we wouldn't even have this discussion and no one would send me emails on a weekly basis about this exact issue. So the default formatting will percolate to the surface. And the fundamental problem is that since Word version 1.0, people have been changing the formatting incorrectly in Word. So let me give you an example. Here's a letter with a horrifically ugly typeface, Courier, the ugliest typeface, in my professional opinion, that was ever created. So I want to change this to Times New Roman, for example, and I don't want left paragraph alignment. I want justified paragraph alignment. So unfortunately, almost everyone does this. They select they select all the text, and they come up here and they switch to whatever it is they want, and they switch to justified, and they go, there, I fixed it. No, you didn't. In fact, you very likely created a latent defect in the document, because if the default formatting is not Times New Roman justified alignment, then I'm going to keep seeing whatever is the default. Okay, so this document, I have a copy of this because the law firm was complaining about this exact issue. They use this as a template, and they were like, every time we use this, constantly I get different formatting. I don't know what causes it. It drives me crazy. Can you tell me what's up? So I'm going to first show you how to identify what the default formatting is for any document. It doesn't matter. And you should literally check this first before you even use an existing document as a template. The first thing you should do, open up the document, you think, oh, this is going to be a good template. File, save as, give it a new file name, and you're going to make some changes to it. First, do this. Select a paragraph. Doesn't matter which one. On the home ribbon, in Word, in both Word for Windows and Word for Mac, there's a little button right here. You can see when I hover over it, it says clear all formatting. Let me zoom in on that for you so you can see it a little better. Okay, it's this guy right here. It's got an A, and that little purple rectangle is supposed to be an eraser. What is it erasing? Formatting that's been applied to the surface of the text. Okay, so if I click this, see what happened? If your font, point size, paragraph alignment change when you do this, then you have a disagreement between the underlying default and what you have layered on top. So the question is, how did this document get like this in the first place? Well, the answer is, at one point, it looked like this, and somebody didn't like that. So they selected the whole document, and they came up here, and they switched it manually to Arial, and manually to 12 point, and maybe they made the whole thing justified, and they said, yeah, there we go. That didn't fix anything because the underlying default was never fixed. Okay, so let me go back to what I had. I selected a paragraph. I clicked the clear all formatting button, revealing the underlying default. So while editing this document, you're going to see this little tiny font, wrong point size, wrong paragraph alignment, wrong everything. So before I use this, I need to fix the defaults. Now, there's three ways to fix the defaults. I'm going to show you a way that works in both. I know this is a Word for Windows class, but I'm going to show you a way that works for both Word for Windows and Word for Mac. There is one way that works in both. And it's a two-step process. First, right-click anywhere in the document. It doesn't even matter. You don't have to select anything, just right-click. Right-click and choose font. What did I want here? I wanted Arial, 12 point. Notice down here at the bottom, there is a little button that says Set as Default. When I click on it, I get two choices. Let me explain the choices. This document only, fairly self-evident what that means. What does this mean? All documents based on the normal.dotn template. What the heck is that? Okay, here's what it is. It is the template that is the foundation of every blank document created in Word. If you make a document in Word, it must be based upon a template. If you don't choose a template, Word chooses one for you, and it chooses normal. Does normal have any text in it? No. What it does have is formatting. That's where it comes from. So the normal template, if I said this radio button, then when I create blank new documents in Word, instead of being Calibri 11 point with the weird paragraph spacing, it will now be Arial instead of Calibri. So that affects this document plus any future documents I create from a blank. Okay, so I'm going to go back here to this document only. When I click OK, as you can see, that paragraph switched to Arial. Now, I still want to fix the paragraph alignment. So I need to right-click again, and this time, instead of choosing font, I choose paragraph. Up at the top, I switch to justified. Same button at the bottom, set as default. You can make it this document only or all future blank documents. I'm going to do this document only. I click OK, and now I've got the formatting the way I want. Since what's been layered on top now agrees with what's underneath, while I'm editing this document, it will not format shift on me. So I eliminated the latent defect that was present before. Now, let me just show you one other thing because it's kind of, I need to explain one more part of this. if I were to right click this and go to font, and let's say I wanted to change this to Times New Roman, and I click set as default, what I just want to point out is the only paragraph that's going to change is this first one here. When I click OK, as you can see, this paragraph switched to Times New Roman. This one is still Arial, and this is still Arial. And the question is, why is it still Arial? I changed the default. Why didn't this update? Think of selecting text and layering formatting on top of it is the same thing as painting a wall. So as I said previously, this document was set up this way by someone selecting the whole document and going up here and manually picking a font, a point size, and a paragraph alignment. So what I did when I used this clear all formatting, if you think of that manual layered formatting on top of the default as paint, when I selected this paragraph and clicked this button, it basically scraped the paint off. So as a result, I can see the underlying default. Here, there's still a layer of Arial paint sitting on top of the text, which is why I can't see the Times New Roman, which is no question, it's underneath. If I selected the title and I cleared off the formatting, as you can see, it's Times New Roman. Now, this was set up, I mean, these people didn't even know how to use center, apparently. They used tabs instead. So I'm going to do that correctly with the Control E. And now I could make that bold, right? That's fine. That's direct formatting. That's okay. But I don't want the rest of it. If I really wanted to make a good template out of the rest of this document, I would select all the rest of it and I would clear off the formatting that's been layered on top. Now that I have scraped the paint off of it, if I right click anywhere and go to font and switch to a different, let's say I want Century School Book, click set as default, okay, the whole document's going to update, or at least the stuff that I scraped is going to reflect the underlying default because it does not have a layer on top of it. Okay, so first thing, you use an existing document as a template. The first thing you want to do is identify what is the underlying default. You select any paragraph, you click the clear all formatting. If something changes, different font, different point size, different paragraph alignment, then you need to fix it. And the first thing you do is you right click and you go to font and you make your changes and you click set as default, okay. Do the same thing for paragraph. And until and unless you get the underlying default to agree with what you want to see in the document, you're going to have a whole list of formatting glitches you cannot otherwise resolve. This solves a ton of problems. And, we do tech support for Word for law firms all over North America. I get a lot of documents, a lot per week. How do I get this? I got this problem with this document. I get constant stream. There's like 10 sitting in my inbox right now. Okay. In about 70% of those documents, there is this underlying defect. Whatever the person wanted is not what's underneath, whatever the author wanted. So it is a very common glitch. And then there, if you think about it, I'm not throwing anybody under the bus here. What about Word's interface explains this? Like most important things in Word, nothing explains it. There's no indication on the interface that I shouldn't just select the thing and come up here. I mean, most people would respond to my previous assertion that's the wrong way to do it with, okay, well then how are you supposed to do it? Like how else could I do it? But Word, it doesn't release its secrets very readily, but that's one of its secrets. Okay, so pay attention to your defaults, change the default, and don't layer more formatting on top because that's only going to create formatting glitches later. Okay, I hope that solved a problem that you may have experienced. Thanks for watching.
Thank you, Baron. This video was created by Ivy Gray from WordRake and Baron Henley from Affinity Consulting, who both trained as lawyers and are now Microsoft Word and Outlook enthusiasts and productivity experts. This video is part of a series. To sign up to receive tech tips and training videos via email, please visit wordrake.com/tech-tips. Take Word to the next level. You are not stuck with Microsoft Word's default settings. If they don't work for you, change them. Reconfigure Word so it helps you deliver your message and doesn't feel like it's in your way. Once you've created new defaults, do more with WordRake editing software. It goes beyond Microsoft's built-in spelling and grammar checkers by offering inline editing suggestions that help you reduce legalese and wordy writing. It uses complex, patented algorithms to find wordy phrases, weak lead-ins, and pointless legalese. If you'd like to learn more, sign up to receive tech tips and training videos at wordrake.com/tech-tips. When you're ready to take your work to the next level, try WordRake. WordRake is clear and concise editing software that will improve your writing while respecting legally operative phrases and key legal content. It's a finely tuned collaborator that will help you satisfy clients, win more business, and do more high-value work. WordRake works in Microsoft Word and Outlook. It goes beyond Microsoft's built-in spelling and grammar checkers to help you reduce legalese and wordy writing. It uses complex, patented algorithms to find useless words, dull phrases, weak lead-ins, cliches, and high-level grammatical problems, then offers suggested edits in line. WordRake's document will look just like a smart colleague with an English degree has revised your work using track changes. In 3 simple steps, you'll have a better document or email. Try it today at wordrake.com/trial.